spindle roughing gouge. That's what I'm going to be using mainly tonight. Yes, you could use a bow gouge, but spindle roughing gouge is fine. So we'll just start off. Again, handle down to slide up, engage, lift, and take that off. So again, just nice gentle cuts. So again, I'm working more one end because of length of my tool rest. Again, that would be. So again, I'm just going to mark the handle length. If I just put my hand on top and put a pencil mark there, that can be the handle length. Now again, good thing about turning lathes for yourself is you can make it to fit your hand, be it a small diameter or a large diameter. So on this we can just rough down. So we'll get that down because that's too large for my hand. So again, I'll go both ways. So again, just take that down a bit more. Then give it a test. One good test is where do you like, what part of your handle do you like on your tool? If you like that part, you use a pair of calipers to measure that diameter, and that will give you a good idea. Want a bit out of now. So again, because I'm taking fairly large cuts, I can still go with the spindle roughing gouge here. Then a bit more out at this end. Again, now it's getting a bit too wide for the area I'm going in, so bring out the spindle gouge. So again, just get the basic shape and roll it over as in a bead. Again, with leaving the revolving centre hole in the centre of the handle, you could put a hook in there and then hang it up in your workshop. So that is the other thing with not removing the revolving centre. That feels right in my hand now, so I'm happy with that. So now we've just a bit here. So again, I can roll that down. That can be slightly a bit fancier. Put a bit of detail on. So basically a bead. Just roll that down there. Again, you don't want any sharp edges because this is something you're going to be holding in your hand. So then, that's going to be a nice size for me. Yep, it's going to be, I'd say, a slight bit long. I'm going to be very tempted to shorten it. So again, only part way, come out, relief cut. So as you can see, just keep going in. Don't want to go too thin, because that's going to take the strength out. This I can go down. Again, if you're coming up to a shoulder like on here, roll the spindle roughing gouge right over. So you're cutting on that bottom ring. If you don't like to do it that way, parting tool. There's so many tools you can use. When I first started, I had 6 basic tools what I was learnt with, and you had to make the best use of all the tools. There weren't the array of tools what they are now. So I've just got to roll that over slightly there. Yes, this is 3/8 spindle gouge. Add a 3/8, add a 1/4 and a 1/2 inch. my basic tools was a spindle roughing gouge, a spindle gouge, a party tool, a screw for spindle work, and a bowl gouge and a scraper for cross grain timber. It was a lot easier in one respect because there was not pages and pages in the catalogue for you to choose from. I'm thinking, which one of these is going to be the best? It was quite simple. So again, maintain that bevel there all the way around. What can happen for most people at the beginning is they overcompensate, they come out too far this way, and then a gap appears behind the bevel, so you've no bevel support, and then it slips outwards. So always maintain that, keep that bevel on all the way around. Again, don't press on too hard, just make sure you've got contact, because if you press on hard, create vibration and everything else. Them can be virtually flat or parallel, or they can be tapered. Sometimes I'll just taper mine slightly thinner towards the handle. Not a lot. Now, can I make this easier to make it an even taper? Yes. Angle the tool rest just slightly. You should see there's a slightly larger gap here than there is there. The secret is to hold this firmly in your fingers. So when you've got your index finger running down the tool rest, if you hold that firmly and you start at this end and then let it go through a bit further through your fingers, start more higher up, go all the way down and then start up here. That gap should be the same all the way down because it's parallel with your wood and your tool rest, but only if you hold your finger tight against the tool rest. And I've got a gap on this one, so I can start there, come back up, start at the top, just push it in a bit further and down. If I come back up again and don't do nothing, don't move it forward, you can see it's hardly taking anything off now. Only part I would say is sanding this part here, where the handle is. Again, because I'm sanding at 1500 RPM, I don't waste no time, because if I hang around while sanding at 1500, it's going to generate a lot of heat in one particular area, so that's why I keep it moving fast. We don't need to. So again, I'm not going to part this off. I'll never part off when I've got something between centres. Now, if anything, just undercut it slightly, because if we make it, now I'm just down to about 3/8 of an inch there. If we go in this way and it's domed, it's going to rock around on your bends. If you make sure it's flat or slightly concave, that's just got a slight convex on it still there. It won't sit flat on your bench, it'll want to fall over. So if I go in undercutting it, always stop the lathe when you test it. That's it's flat now, doesn't rock. So it's go sit up right on my bench, or it can be laid down, whichever you prefer. Choice is yours in that respect. Then all we need to do is saw that little piece off. So again, just more or less go around. It's easier when it's held between centres. Again, just don't go right through, otherwise, let's just go in now. Release that. And that'll just, but I don't want to break it off too much, because that little nib away in the centre